Alright, what's going on? Welcome back to Moosey Gaming here, and today we're back with another weekly updates on my Project Vortex account. And as you guys can see, we had a lot that has happened throughout the last week. We had the KINGSLAND opening that happened, I think, towards the later part of last week. And then we had some fights. Obviously, we had the outer fights, but we weren't able to get too many reports. You guys can see that my reports look absolutely gorgeous. But we haven't really gotten too much of a fight. And as you guys can see, yeah, I actually kept my marsh out there while I was leaving the altar, as we had the altar fight a couple of days ago. And yeah, so we had good reports, but we weren't able to actually fight the enemies too much. So that was unfortunate. But this week, I believe in 2 days, let me go ahead and take a look at my monuments. Yeah, I believe in 2 days and a half, we're going to have the Kingsland restriction lifted. That means that we're going to go into Kingsland and actually compete for the Kingsland. Hopefully, we're going to have some fights, though, because at the end of the day, our allies, Kingdom 3951, is actually probably as strong as us, if not slightly weaker. And our main enemies, 49 and 48, are relatively much weaker than us. So hopefully they don't just give up early in the Kingsland. Obviously, winning KVK 1 is going to be really, really crucial in our kingdom's progress, as well as staying more relevant. It's 2v2 KVK, so hopefully we do win, but hopefully we do get a little bit more fight is what I'm hoping for. Alright, with that said, let's just first go ahead and take a look at my VIP points as always and start off the video. We have stayed at VIP 14, have about 829,000 VIP points as we enter 117th day of this account's progress so far. And as you guys see, I actually just lost Scientist, didn't I? Let me just go ahead and get it back. And as I'm working on my technology, you guys can see that I'm working on my war technology at the moment. I don't know if I have speed ups enough for me to actually finish this. Let's just go ahead and finish it so that I don't have to worry about it. I may not have enough speed ups, actually. I don't. Okay. That's unfortunate. We do have the maximum buff on the kingdom at the moment, so that is unfortunate. Let me, you know what? Let me just go ahead and finish that one so I can start the next one. There you go. That should be more than enough, right? You know what? Yeah. Let's go ahead and finish it so I can start the next one. Most likely, yeah, this is probably the best way. Okay, yeah. So I've been focusing a little bit more on the technology side. As you guys can see, we do have the maximum buff on for the research, 15% research rune, as well as 10% research buff. And also at the same time, I do have scientists in there. So yeah, that's what I've been kind of working on in terms of technology. I don't really have too much resources and speed ups left over. Because of that, you guys can see that I don't really have any speed ups left over for research and universals. But I do have 30 days of healing, so hopefully that is enough for me to actually go into fight. I do want to trade better, so that's why I'm kind of focusing a little bit more on the technology development. You guys can see that I do have the small 3 expertise. Not expertise. Small 3 fish finished up, as well as cartography. And we're currently sitting at Steel level 8. Scartem level 8, level 7. And then medical course at level 9. And then combined arms at level 7. And then encampment at level 6, going into 7. So we're working hard on technology. You guys can see that I already have maxed out as much as I can on the efficiency tree as well on the econ side. I do need to work on those if I do want to become a T5 eventually. So, but that's something that I can worry about in the next KVK. What else is there? Ooh, yes, Heliamber. So in terms of Heliamber, I did actually save this up for you guys, just in case you guys are wondering. I think I am actually potentially able to finish Heliamber thing, the Daybreak Trials, at this very video. You guys can see that I have almost reached stage 300. So we're gonna go ahead and see if we can beat the boss. And there you go. We have finished the stage 300 of the Heliamber / Daybreak Trials, which means that I have completed the KVK, the Crystal Tech, quote unquote, for the KVK 1. Nothing too bad. I just bought the pop-ups as well as the daily stuff, and I wasn't able to. I didn't really feel too difficult that this is actually. Well, I didn't feel like completing the Daybreak trial was too difficult, to be honest with you. So yeah, so that gives you a little bit of kind of understanding of how that works out. I think eventually you get like what, like somewhere between 30 to 45 the one of those, what's this called? Yeah, 30 to 45 blueprint fragment just for your pens through that event at the cost of, I believe, somewhere along the lines of like $30 to $40, which I think is worth it for the younger kingdoms, especially if you're actually cavalry or infantry mains, who's going to get Eternal Night and Ash of the Dawn, which is going to be really, really valuable for your account's progress at the end of the day. So that's how I felt about this daybreak trial thing. Yeah, it was worth it. It's new ways for younger people, to actually catch up to it. It's not too costly. You can finish it with $30. I think that's more than enough for you to actually, finish the daybreak trials until the KVK 1 ends. But it was fun. Beyond this, I don't know where all those things are gonna really be used. I don't think there is really any use of this whatsoever. So, yeah, but this is basically where we're at with the daybreak trials. In terms of my commander progress, you guys can see my Sun Tzu is actually cooking with those crazy equipment, 4-piece legendary equipment, as well as Kairos Humility and Gatekeeper Shield. So I did focus on the core key pieces that does give you the most amount of buff. Gatekeeper Shield, for those of you who are wondering why I still have a blue equipment, is because Gatekeeper Shield is actually arguably almost as good as the uncritted version of the Eternal Empire Shield. I'll most likely go ahead and change it because I do want to get that 10% extra march speed eventually. And I've been collecting materials for that. But at this very moment, yeah, Gatekeeper Shield is doing the job. Same goes with Kairos Humility. This gives you about 10.5% health, infantry health, which is arguably better than having Eternal Night uncritted version of it at this very point. Because health is very, very scarce stats that you can get from infantry trees. So yeah, that's where we're at. I do have 2 pieces of Silent Trial and Wind Scars both critted. Wind Scar critted is actually very crucial. So I've been pretty happy with that because of how slow infantry marches are in KVK 1. And also at the same time, I do have the Iconic 1 critted versions of Eternal Empire boots and gloves, which gives me a pretty decent amount of stats. An uncritted version of Gold Helmet of Eternal Empire and Hope crafted. Now, in terms of my next move, I did actually dismantle all the other March's equipment to see how far I am behind for crafting this Shield of the Eternal Empire. I still need like 8 and 26, so that is like 34 extra legendary materials, which is a long way. Even if I do dismantle the Gatekeeper Shield, I think that's gonna give me like 3-4 at max legendary. So I still have a long way to go until I do have this crafted. But I'm slowly getting there. Hopefully I can actually get this within the KVK 1, so I can have that 4-piece 10% march speed bonus from the infantry at the end of the day. But yeah, that's where I'm at in terms of the equipment. In terms of commander progress, you guys can see that I am currently running Sun Tzu and YSG. I've been getting a lot of Purist heads from the dailies. I plan on expertising Purist by the time that I do enter KVK 2, hopefully. And then with that said, I'm going to use all the gold tests to get the CJ unlocked and expertise. Hopefully expertise by the time that I do fight my first KVK 2 fights. I did make a small mistake on this account where I did use some of the gold as into Pierce, which I think is backfiring me at the very moment. Spent about 46 extra gold tests that I shouldn't have used for this account. But as we enter KVK 2, we'll be able to get more Riders of History bundles, so hopefully that will be more than enough for me to compensate for the fact that I have wasted some of those gold tests at the end of the day. And going into KVK 3, most likely I'm going to go ahead and swap Pierce and Chok Jun-gyo CJ into full infantry march. into KVK3. Whereas I'm still and then I'll try to unlock Qin so that I can work on Qin to be paired up with YSG so that I can have 2 maximal marches going into KVK3, going into KVK4 as well. Aside from that, I think that's pretty much it. Again, look out for that war that's happening in the later down the week. We're gonna have a blast streaming that fight, hopefully, and hopefully that doesn't really last like only 2 hours or something like that. Which is what the last outer fight actually lasted, about like an hour. So that was unfortunate. Hopefully we'll have more of a fight than that coming up in the coming up fight. I get one thing, which was actually doing the bone necklaces. I did actually try to get 1,000 bone necklaces to kind of showcase how efficient those are in general when you do it in bulk. But I wasn't able to get 1,000. I forgot that yesterday was when it actually ended. So, yep, we're just gonna open 834 of those bone necklaces and see what we can get. Let's go. We did get pretty decent amount of speed ups, it looks like, and a lot of gems. 840 gems just from the 10s, and 1,344 arrow resistance. What is that? That's like what? 800 minutes of speed ups for 800 minutes of speed ups of both research as well as the training, and not crazy amount of speed ups on the universal side. I think that does, if we go look at it, yeah, it does give us some, I think like a day or so is healing speed up. A little bit more on the, a little bit less on the research and training though. But yeah, that's how much we got. And if I actually open all the gems that I got from barb chaining, barb farming, as well as those that I got from the Lohars, I think they gave me about 2,000 gems so far. Anyways, yeah, I just wanted to kind of add that in there because I forgot to do it when I was recording the initial version. Hopefully that was actually pretty good. All right. Once again, I hope you guys enjoyed today's stream. If you guys did, please go and drop me a thumbs up. No, video, sorry. Video. If you guys did, please go and drop me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, guys. And as always, I'll see you all in the next video, guys. Peace!